I can't fix it for the life of me.
We've got a comment to kick off the night.
Oh my goodness. If you can't tell, we're having just a few technical difficulties because I'm talking right now. And yeah, that happens. So Thomas assures me that you can hear me. So I'm gonna talk like this, and you guys won't know that I'm nothing is matching up. But either my voice is in the future, or my face is in the past, or something. I don't know how it's going. Welcome to the weekend, Thomas. How's your weekend going already?
Oh, well, besides audio issues, I would have thought it's Monday, but because it's a podcast, it's Friday, and I'm excited. We've made it. We've made it through a hectic week, a busy week, but we're here.
You know, it could be worse.
Well, the show's not over, so don't.
I could be in New York right now, and there could be like water ankle deep in my studio.
Yes, they're getting it bad right now. Oh, I feel
sorry.
so bad.
If anyone here is in New York, I'm not trying to make light of your situation at all. But I am using your misfortune to make myself feel just a tiny bit better about my audio problems. That's worth anything. Oh man.
The good news, as I'm watching the StreamYard feed, it's starting to sync up.
It's fixing itself.
It is. And you called it before the show. You said it might sync itself up. And I went, maybe.
Which was like a no. When does tech ever fix itself without just turning it off and on again?
Never. But now on my end, you're on the money. I love it.
Wow. Okay. So my internet has caught up. My high-speed internet is finally up to speed. Oh my goodness. 6 volt. We need you to diagnose what just happened there and let us know what it was.
He's going to have a great comment for it.
Yes, I'm sure.
So we're Friday, September 29th, episode 31.
31.
And it just so happens I saw about 2 hours before the show when I started looking at some things. Today is International Podcast Day.
I think it should be galactic.
Yes. Yes.
It probably could be. Anything, but if we're going to go big and say international, we might as well just go universal or galactic or what's bigger than galactic? Is that
6 volt? He says I quit at 5 p.m. boss. He's done. So he's not fixing
off the clock. I'm not doing any troubleshooting for you.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'll ask you the same question tomorrow or Monday morning, bright and early.
So did you know podcast, as things tried to transpire and everything morphed from radio and other forms, the iPod, which is long gone, right? That was Apple's device of loading strictly music.
Then it feature too. I loved my iPod.
I still have one. I have the little one that's like a 1x1.
The Nano?
1x1. The Nano. I still have the Nano.
Oh my goodness.
And I have the adapters to charge it and try to use it. I need to do that.
Yeah. The big fat one?
Yeah, exactly. I need to see what's on it. So, and then they morphed into the iPod that then you could get your text on and have other apps, etc. But anyways, podcast came from the what was written is the forced marriage of iPod and broadcast is podcast. That's how podcast came to be.
Marriage through like a shotgun wedding. Is that this wasn't who was forced to marry the other one?
Shotgun wedding, or maybe
forced to marry the broadcast, or did broadcast? I mean, which one was pregnant? I guess that's the question, right?
I think big tech impregnated local media or social media. I don't know. Something happened, but that's where podcast came from. And today's International Podcast Day, and we just happen to do ours on Fridays.
Did you ever? What did you use for music before the iPod? Did you ever go like Zune? Did you go into the Zune, or just it went straight from CDs?
Yeah. So I I'll out myself. So I'm a late 80s baby. I had a Walkman, and I think we've actually talked about this with the little portable disc player.
So this is brand new to me.
Me too. So
the MD disc, the mini disc.
No, full on CD.
Okay.
But just a single disc player with the headphones plugged in. And the real cool ones had bass booster. and they even had skip
Which
or
never
fast
turned off.
forward.
Who turns that off? Nobody, right?
Nobody. Bass booster's always on. But
Why I have tinnitus.
and it comes down to the headset that you're sitting on. It doesn't actually do anything if you have a crummy headset, but we use that. And then it morphed into Napster, where you could steal music online and download to make mixed CDs.
It was legal, right? Because nobody was prosecuting for so long. Everyone was doing it. I did a whole dance with stolen MP3s that I played on Winamp.
Okay, so I went to Winamp after Napster.
Yeah,
but I remember the days when you had a middle school crush and you made them a mixed CD off of Napster. You downloaded all your favorite like Savage Garden love songs with some Maroon 5 or something, and then you gave them that one with a special little love note on it, and then they could play it in theirs. And you had the CD carrier when you got into late high school, junior or senior year, that you could strap to your visor, and then you could put all your CDs in those, so you could just swap them out and play all your new hottest mixtapes.
My station wagon visors, if you brought them down, they just like flop down. So if there's any, you drove a station wagon too, right? No, you had the good car. You had the good car. I drove the Country Squire station wagon. You had you were the kid that I wanted to be like. Instead, I was me.
Well, no, it depends on the year. So actually, when I was getting ready to get my license, that's when the Toyota Tundra first came out, the pickup truck, and that's what I wanted. And I was online on AOL looking at this Toyota Tundra all the time, and my mom even had to tell me to quit. I'm going to give myself ulcers over searching this truck and looking at it.
They were
my dad had just been transferred into a new anti-terrorism unit with the department. So he had a take-home undercover or unmarked Chevy Blazer. So I got to drive his brand new 1999 Nissan Frontier. That was my daily driver. And I drove that through my junior year until I bought myself an Acura Integra, my first car that I bought for myself.
These both were like luxury vehicles compared to what I was driving into. I never ever gave my friends a ride to school, and it wasn't because I didn't like them or didn't offer. It's because none of them wanted to be caught dead in my car. I'd rather walk home the 2 miles than you give me a ride.
Right.
Oh, but man, speaking of vehicles, if I can just throw this in here, trying to impress my wife, went out, rented a limo. Okay.
What time period are we in with this story?
Current. This is like, I'm just telling you how my week's gone.
So it's out front?
Rented a limo, not right now.
Okay.
Rented a limo. They pull up right to the house. Complete surprise to my wife. Okay. She's like blown away. And the dude hops out, the driver's got the hat and everything, hops out and he just like trucks it down the road. I'm like, hey, sir, where are you headed? And he's like, hey, I'm out of here, see ya. And he threw me the keys. I'm like, what is going on here? And I'm like, hey, are you going to drive this? He's like, no, you only paid the minimum package. And so here I am. I've got the limo and nothing to chauffeur it. Nothing to chauffeur it. Chauffeur
it. Okay. You totally baited and switched me. I feel like a total fool.
You said we were going to do jokes today. So
we do have jokes. I didn't know you were going to lead off with one right out the gate. You got me. But
we were talking about cars. Sorry, that was a bad one.
You got it. But
my wife said, "You rented a limo?"
No. Back off. It's part of the Not Relevant podcast. Just be. But
she didn't even tell that joke. But
so said 1999 Nissan Frontier. That was my first daily driver. And I pray my dad's not watching, but he's a smart man. He knows. I beat that truck up real hard. I put it through the ringer. He drives it to this day, and it has 325,000 miles on it still. It's still on the road, still his daily driver.
That is incredible.
It is, knowing what I did to that truck before, when he switched departments and his unmarked vehicle went returned and he retired and took it back over. I was like, well, I pray this thing makes it another 5 years at most. It's still on the road. He does all the maintenance. It's still trucking. I can't believe it. 325,000 miles on that thing.
That is, I think at that price, I mean, when you hit that mileage, you should be able to just take it back to the dealership and just trade it in for the newer model. And they're like, congratulations, you win. Because it's just all good advertising you've given the brand over all these years. They can just say, hey, here's one from 40 years ago.
Right. It's still trucking. So this will be first of a few reminders. Next Friday may or may not be a podcast, depending on what is on RA schedule. But my dad and my brother are actually coming to town, who I've not seen for years. They're coming in late Thursday night. They're going to be here for the weekend. So
he probably wants to talk to you about that truck.
If he's watching, he's going to come out here to lecture me, and I'm in trouble all over again, 100%. But if something happens and it gets lined up and Scott has a guest that is here or not, we'll make a quick guest appearance for maybe 5 seconds. But if not, next Friday might be off.
Sounds good.
But speaking of vehicles and the cost of them, because that truck was brand new, albeit not a big fancy truck, but it was brand new, but it was affordable for being brand new. The used car market as of recent has skyrocketed, albeit falling, but it's still astronomical. So it takes a lot of money to pretty much buy anything: eggs, cheese, vehicles,
milk.
So milk, six gallons of milk for eight gallons. I stand corrected. But money's a big kicker for a lot of people right now, but not for a guy in Virginia, apparently.
No, I guess the Virginians have all the luck, because the Virginian that you're speaking about won the lottery 24 times over, meaning 24 times in a row, I guess. I don't know how we describe that. I'm not a big lottery player.
Yeah, so I don't know how you do it either, because he won it 24 times in one ticket, or in one drawing.
One draw. So by my understanding, when you enter the lottery, or you buy a ticket in the lottery, you can either have them randomly select numbers for you, which is basically you pick the losing numbers and then I don't feel any guilt. or you can pick your own numbers and then feel guilty for picking the wrong numbers when you don't win. But he picked, and they call it quads. When you pick 4 of the same numbers, he picked JFK got 8 inches of rain. Yes, we're going to talk about that just a little bit. He picked the number 8 4 times 24. And guess what? 8 was the winning draw. So 24 times over, which means each ticket 24 times, or each of the tickets was worth $5,000. So I'm going to do the math in my head. Hey Siri, what? Oh, sorry, did I?
No. I
need to mute my mic really quickly.
My watch is going. Dang it.
So
no, Siri.
That's a lot of money.
$120K.
Wow, cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
That's a new car, new Frontier for sure.
Oh, a couple of them. Well, if it's my dad's, you get 50 of them. But yeah, a new one. I don't even know if they still make them. But yeah, he just stuck with the same lucky numbers and just said 888. Give me 24 tickets with 888. So when the drawings all get spit out, they come out. Here it goes. Do you have a lucky number? Or not lucky, but one you gravitate to, let's say.
That's a great question. I can tell you it's not the one the scale keeps showing me.
Mine either. It's always a little high.
Yeah, I prefer something a little lower. I really don't. I like even numbers better than I like odd, but I don't really have a favorite.
Megan says mine is suddenly 8.
A couple 100,000 reasons from having an 8 years favorite number.
So mine's 35. I gravitate to 35, but because historically in hockey, goalie numbers were always in the 30s. And so mine was 35 from my favorite goaltender growing up. And then my whole career, I tried to wear 35 every team I ever went to. So I always put that in everything. And I've never won anything off of betting on 35, except for once in Vegas on roulette. if
You
I
won on
recall.
35.
Yeah, and roulette, if you recall, it's every other number's red or black. It's odd or even. Odd or even. That was stupid. But if I recall, 35 is black. I always bet on red if I ever do the red or black betting.
So you did red 35.
No, so I just put my chips right on black 35 and bam, it hit it. And it was a good payout. But that was the one and only time. There was just the luck of the chance. Chance of the luck of the chance. But 35 is mine.
I think that game's rigged. There's just too many moving parts on that for me to trust. There's got to be like a magnet somewhere or a little kicker that will bounce the ball at the last minute out of the way from the number. I just don't trust it.
You know what's even scarier? So I am 20 minutes from the Oklahoma border, which has a casino on it.
Right.
And every once in a while, we don't gamble at all. But if we go up there to eat a steak at their steakhouse, we'll gamble for maybe 10 minutes, right? We'll do, hey, let's do $20 just for fun. We're up here. Well, the roulette machine there, because roulette is illegal there, they do a card roulette. So instead of a wheel and a ball, it's an electronic wheel and a ball, but a card gets spit out that they flip. Tell me that's not rigged somehow. Come on. Yeah.
Like, we're not going to let it be mechanical. We'd like to have one more layer of iron curtain between us and your winnings.
100%. So I don't play that one, but no, we don't gamble much. But
7 wants me to guess his lucky number. How many tries do I get?
I bet it's 21.
It's a multiple of 6. No. 7. That's awesome. Megan, you know what, Megan? You know what your message just reminded me of? I just got a copyright claim from Megan Trainor today. I'm like, I arrived. I got a copyright strike from Megan Trainor because in court, Maya was dancing to Megan Trainor's song and she's singing, I feel better when I'm dancing. Woo-hoo.
During her therapy. Yes.
All revenue. Megan Trainor. So I've supported the music industry today, which is awesome. So congratulations, Megan. Thank you.
So that makes me wonder. The 6 volt. Yes, I agree. What? Exclamation. So do they have paid staff monitoring, or is there software out there that anytime
it's automated? When
that tune gets triggered, they get a notification of it's being played.
YouTube will tell you, they'll say, show me all the places that people are using my stuff. And I can go in and I can see it. So if somebody restreams my stream, I can manually go in and say, claim, copyright strike. It's just, so it puts the pieces together. I think you still have to push the button, but I think at that level, it's probably just, they run a program and just claim everything. And it probably claims a few 100,000 videos a day. So
just ding, ding, ding. Yeah. That's crazy.
And it's not a strike. It's not like you can't use this. We're going to take down your channel. Instead, they say you can use it, but the money goes to the creator, which would be Megan Trainor. So when you go back and watch the replay, and Maya gets up there to start dancing, and suddenly goes very silent, it's because I muted that part of the track. It's not because I don't like Megan. It's just I would rather her not get all the revenue for the entire day's work when she got 14 seconds of a song in. So you get to see Maya dancing, but no Megan Trainor.
And she's got millions already. I don't want to say it's funny, but I actually had to step away when you were playing that for work, but I watched the first, minute, and I found myself feeling like I was watching Maya live and I was like cheering for her, like rooting for her. You got it. And then I went, oh, this is when she's like 10. But it was impactful. Oh, Megan. Well, Megan's short on cash, I'm sure. So good for her. But,
my audio is not synced anymore, and I apologize. No, Red Pen. It's not. It doesn't affect anything, especially now that I recut that. I muted that section of the song. It doesn't affect anything, so it's back to normal as if I had not played Megan Trainor's song. You just won't hear it on the stream. So that's all. YouTube's pretty good about letting me fix it after the fact.
Perfect. I left that comment up there for a while. I think it was from Steven, and I believe, but no, definitely not NHL. Didn't make it that far. I ended up in what is the CHL that has morphed a lot with the ECHL now, of an affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. So 3 levels below the NHL is where I made it to, and spent a very, very short amount of time. Very short. And then I went into coaching a lower division than that. But
I went to a game once.
I heard you talking about your experience today of filming in the locker room talk and the smell of the gear.
Oh my goodness. You can vouch for that, right?
Everything you said is 100% validated. The equipment is the worst. Now every arena and every locker room is a little bit different. It depends on the ventilation and the humidifiers that are rigged up. Ours here, where I played the most of my career, it was a sealed box of a locker room. So we had 10 industrial size dehumidifiers with hoses running from them to the shower drains, because it was a swamp after the first period when you walk in and all the heat and everything. And and they stink. It's terrible.
Those dehumidifiers are not, they're not picking up that fresh morning dew moisture in the air. No, this is like vaporized sweat.
The worst of the worst. It's disgusting.
It's like yellow. It's like mixed with a little bit of blood and everything else in it. It's just,
yeah.
You can't imagine. I mean, you can, because you don't have to. But wow, it was eye-opening for me in more ways than one. Because
so it's funny. There's a trick, and well, I've been out of the game for a long time now. I'm sure they have something. But when I was playing, so you can shower, soap, shampoo, body wash, loofah, everything you need to do. Gloves are the worst, absolute worst. Nothing would take those off. We found the hack: Barbasol shaving cream. When you're done with the shower, you go back to the sinks and you wash your hands twice with Barbasol shaving cream. Gone. Completely fresh skin, scent gone, clean, smelling. So you go in and you clean up and kill all the germs, whatever, but the scent sticks. Barbasol deodorant knocked it right out.
I will say, I've never seen so many people who are missing teeth or, had serious hand injuries as when I was in the hockey room as well.
Yeah, that's the number one too. You see a lot of interviews with hockey players, but a lot of them have 3, 4 fake teeth on a retainer. But come game time, they just take that retainer out and put the mouthpiece in. You don't want to bend your retainer; they're expensive. So during the game, they're missing 3 or 4 teeth. After the game, they got 3 or 4 back in. But the reason the gloves smell so bad is because that's how you hold your stick, right? So you don't want greasy, sticky, sweaty, gross gloves. So after every period, we throw it to our equipment managers. They put them on what people would recognize of ski boot warmers, but they're for your gloves. So just think about nasty, sweaty gloves, and then you bake them. And then you put them back on, and then you get them all gross again, and then you just bake them again. They're not being cleaned, and they're not being washed. So that it's funny. I've given tickets to some people that they sat like right behind the bench, and when players go by, the air kind of comes up and then it falls because it's real cool air. And they have all said, I don't want to sit there ever again. It smells horrid behind the bench. I'm like, yeah, it really does.
Its front row seat has its downside, I guess, on that one.
Yeah. Betsy Connor, you're exactly right. If you get too close to it, it's absolutely disgusting. And everyone always says, well, you're on ice. It's cold. No, it's so, the cardio is so intense playing the sport. The ice, does absolutely nothing. You're dying, you're sweating. It's incredibly warm in there. But I don't even know how we got there, but we did. It's not relevant.
It's not relevant. I've got a button for that somewhere. I can. There it is.
Talking about stuff that is not
we were talking about the weather up in New York. Did we mention some of the developments regarding that weather?
You mentioned on the flooding that's happening.
Did I say what or who or what is enjoying this weather?
I don't think, is anybody enjoying it? Is there any party out there that's having fun with that?
The sea lions at the zoo have escaped their enclosure because of the flooding. There's so much water they can literally swim over the fence, and they're out, and now they're having a ball. And I'm not sure if they're still contained in the larger zoo or if they're just on the loose in the subway or everywhere else. But
oh no,
on the loose. It's crazy. Just watching some of the videos of the water pouring down the subway, and people are like, "Oh, hey, no!" It's like just waterfalls coming down, and people sitting on the bus with their feet up because the bus is flooded all the way up to the seats.
Oh,
It is so much water.
that's
It's
terrible. You
but
make a good point.
the animals. Any animal that likes water would enjoy that sort of weather.
Yeah, you make a great point. I would love to know if they escaped their aquariums and whatnot, but they're still within the zoo compound, or if they've made it down the alley and they're, like you said, they're catching the sub, or where where are they swimming off to?
They're grabbing some food from a hot dog vendor cart as it floats by. They're just climbing on the monkey enclosure. I don't know. There's a video out there on Twitter that shows the sea lions, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, they're having such a ball. They've escaped their enclosure." But
It's crazy. Debbie, what's going on at NYC? So earlier last night, a big system full of rain just stalled right over New York, and it dropped about 6 inches overnight. And then as of this morning, I haven't looked today, but they were projecting another 6 to 8 inches over the day. Now the system is finally kind of shifting and moving, but it's not in a hurry. So other states like Connecticut and some sorts are experiencing the same flash flooding. It's not severe weather with hail and wind and tornadoes. It's just a stalled rain system that is just dumping inches and inches of rain, which is, yeah, New York rats would have a blast. It's going to push them everywhere, right? Because everything's going to higher ground. So things are going to be infiltrated with animals and rodents and things like that. But yeah, big rain system there.
I'm gonna try to see if I can pull up a stream, a little video and show you just briefly. Let's see. I think it was.
So epic exposure. It's been raining in Rhode Island all day. Yep, it's there. Alyssa, she puts in there with 8 inches, and it's a short time period. That's the difference maker, because when you look at 8 inches of rain in a short period of time, that equals, say, a very small creek. That equals 2 feet of water within an hour.
Yeah, just showing.
Oh man, yeah.
On the subway, it's like, I'll take the other way. Today I'm gonna walk. I'd rather not ride the subway.
Yeah.
Just crazy videos of. I mean, sorry if I. Oh, here we go. Sea lions. Check this out.
Yeah.
There's just water everywhere.
So that's a house across the street, right? It's small.
Down the road.
They're out of the zoo.
Right there, like all the way in the back. Yeah, like fully escaped the enclosure.
Oh yeah.
That's in Central Park.
Oh, they're out of the zoo. They've made it. They're free. Oh gosh.
Yeah, just crazy stuff up there. But no thanks. I'll take the submarine.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know,
Most,
I saw there's video of the rats that have, like, they're coming in like grocery stores and stuff. They're just running to get out of up into the high ground. They're just going where the people go.
Totally.
And the rats in New York, if you haven't been there, they look like a small Labrador, a mid-sized Labrador, a well-fed Labrador, and they're vicious. I mean, it looks like a beaver with a little narrow tail is what they look like.
Yeah, right.
So you're heading to the 7-Eleven and you've got to fight a rat for your munchies. It's crazy up there.
I feel like they do normally, but it's just a little bit heavier traffic now.
Do they have alligators up there?
I haven't heard many stories of gators in New York. I could be corrected depending on the audience, but I know there's gators in Philly.
In PA.
Yeah.
Gator.
It all goes back to PA. There's always gators in somewhere.
PA's been the news a lot lately.
They're the highlight of the content for this channel for sure.
We love you, PA.
PA, thanks for putting it out there. So we've got a story out of PA where so you've got Zoe.
Yes.
I've got Joey.
Dog.
Right. And I know you have viewers that have service animals, service dogs, service. There's other animals out there that are service. So on his way to the Phillies game, entering in, this gentleman brought in Wally, but he was denied. He was told you can't have Wally in to to the game. Your service animal Wally is denied.
Is that legal?
It is when it's an alligator.
Wally the alligator.
Wally the gator, the emotional support alligator, was denied entering the ballpark.
Oh my goodness.
See, I don't see
What?
Red.
Okay, no, I give people a lot of leeway on this. Okay, but what service or what does Wally do for you other than just feel good that you have, no one's going to fight you because you have a gator on your side?
Is it like a flex? Like I have a well-behaved trained alligator that I can walk through public with one and it doesn't attack. And so, I mean, I don't know. There could be, I don't want to knock it, right? There could be some crazy emotional attraction or relationship that maybe he rescued him. He or her is a little, a pup gator. And so their bond is so strong. But I mean, come on, you can't take a gator into a baseball stadium. You just can't.
Don't get me wrong here. Are we sure you can tame them? Or is it just well fed and right now he's not hungry? I would be so nervous to take what's the liability like for taking a gator out in public? And someone goes like, "Oh, cool, so cute. Can I pet it?" I was like, "Well, you could." But
yeah, and you got a ballpark Frank in your hand, and he looks over and he just goes for the Frank, but he just gets the whole hand. I mean, I don't know. There's some goofy support animals out there that people do, and I get it. There's a connection they have, so that animal actually does bring that person some peace and comfort. But you got to be aware of your surroundings. An alligator is different.
Yeah.
So I actually understand it being denied in this particular case because that's
he's going to file a lawsuit and he's going to win.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Congress is going to go back and say, like, except for alligators. We didn't think we'd have to be saying this. if your emotional support animal eats other people, please don't bring them to public. So the lion, alligators, and bears are now out. So that is
Wally just became the richest gator, and he doesn't even know it. Because it's gonna happen.
Extra fresh chicken tonight.
Yes. Oh, I couldn't believe it when I read it, and I don't know. It doesn't go into depth. There's what's so hard with social media and everything out there right now. And I'm not claiming this person did this because I do not know. But so many people do things for pranks now to get views.
Man.
And so, is that something someone tried to do to be funny and be a part of a quick show and grab some views, or was it legitimate? It very well could be. I'm not accusing them, but we see so many that are frivolous and it's for the views that it always just makes you wonder anymore when you see an odd story. That's all.
Jen 302 says, a lady here in Fort Myers had a raccoon and she wrote Ivanka and Jared and they signed this paper for her service animal and she brought it to a performance hall and we had to allow it. Yeah, but really the raccoon, most it's going to do is like steal someone's popcorn, right? That's like the worst the raccoon's going to do, or maybe make a mess. I guess you can get some pretty vicious raccoons.
You can get some mean ones, but I've seen a lot of videos of tamed raccoons that are brought up and they're just cute as a button and they got the cruel mask on and they get it. I haven't seen a lot of videos of an alligator who's been tamed and he's all cuddly and cute, but I see, and I can get on board with a monkey. They're smart. A lot of people have them as pets. I say a lot, but
they can be trained to do all sorts of very useful things, like fetching for people who have difficulty picking things up and carrying things or flipping switches, things like that. They can be trained to do all these. I mean, dogs and stuff can do it as well, but a monkey, obviously with opposable thumbs, can do it a little bit better, I think.
Do a lot. So Jen, she just followed up. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, so she raised a thing since it's a baby. So that raccoon was very domesticated. It was not going to be on the aggressive. It's used to being fed when it needs to be fed, so it's not a scavenger. It's not going to go fight for food. But yeah, it's wild. I want to just boop the snoot.
Are we talking the alligator or the raccoon?
I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
That's funny. But so speaking of just good time fun and chuckles, let me see here. This is all right. Real quick. Oh my gosh, do we need permission to call BS here? I give permission. Comfort alligators are complete crap. Mrs. Ari's been on one this week. She's been on one for calling it like it is.
That's great. That is good. I missed a couple. Dr. Ivan checking in. Ladybird, thank you very much for the super chat as well. Dr. Ivan says Thomas skate recommendation, or a skate recommendation for a 3-year-old. Talking about
Ooh.
hockey skates.
Find something that will fit and that is used and cheap, because if it goes well and the 3-year-old wants to continue, the price of skates are extremely expensive, and that you will need a pair of skates every year, if not more. And if they can't quite skate yet, get them out there on the ice and use a chair to teach them to hold on to. It's one of the best teaching aids ever.
Did you hear that, Missouri? I'm going to need a chair.
Not a chair with wheels either, like a 4-legged chair. You just hold the back of it as if you're pushing someone, but you just hold on to it as you skate, and it gives you a good. It's like a walker
chair with my feet down while I'm doing the footwork, where my weight is not on my feet. Maybe that's part of my problem. I actually need to stand on the ice and not sit on the chair.
You actually have to stand on the ice, yeah. But
I fall down a lot when I'm ice skating. I cannot do a hockey stop. I'm scared to death that my ankles will just like snap if I turn sideways like that, and the ice will be like, "Gotcha!" It's not going to be the last minute. It's not going to spray the ice like everyone else can do. It's going to be like, "Ha, toe pick," and there you go. But
we've talked about this, and I forget. Being from Utah,
Mhm.
did you snow ski back then or no? I feel like you said no.
One time I bought a pair of skis from like a secondhand store, and I tried them on and started going down a very small hill, and I went very, very slowly, but I could not stop. And my skis crossed each other, and I could not turn them, and they just went further and further apart until I was pretzeled in the most painful position. And it was all I could do to slowly tip over without like having my knee just pop and snap off like a chicken bone. And then I vowed never to do that again.
Okay, so my analogy won't work, because you went from French fry to pizza to pretzel, and that's not conducive for. That's not good. So back to food on this channel every time,
Every time.
Not ideal.
Speaking of falling down, which I do a lot. Did you hear about the guy who fell down the well?
Snow yoga.
Yeah, he didn't see that well.
That reminds me why I don't trust Adams.
Why's that?
They make everything up. So if y'all haven't picked up on it, we do the top 3 every show. We've done this segment once or twice before. We're going to exchange dad jokes here for a little bit and make y'all laugh or make y'all really sick. So that's...
I had another segment we were going to do right now that I hadn't told Thomas about. I was going to do a magic trick, but someone had glued all my cards together. I don't know how to deal with it.
That reminds me of an elevator joke.
Oh, yes. What's that?
Well, because they work on so many levels.
What do you call a zombie who cooks stir fries?
I don't know.
Dead man walking.
With the walk. I love it. I love that one. I like that one a lot. I don't want to like them because they're dad jokes. I wish I would have got it. I'm just not that wise. But do you know why piggy banks are so wise?
Why piggy banks are so wise? No.
Well, because they're usually filled with so much common sense.
What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back when you throw it?
Oh, I actually know this one, but I can't remember it. I give. Dang
A stick.
Yeah. Dang it. Mr. Please kick him.
I need to lock my office door really quickly so no one can come in and pull the plug.
Oh. So this one's going to be a bit regional for some people.
Mm.
But do you know how you get a good price on a sled?
Good price on a sled.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You have to toboggan. Yes, I got him with that one.
What did the pirate say when he turned 80 years old?
Oh, no. Sorry. Make it hurt him. No. I promise it'll end soon. Please don't go.
He said, "I matey."
No. I hate when they're that obvious. We can't get them. All right. Can
Anyway.
February,
Oh,
March?
Go ahead. Can February, March?
Can February, March?
I don't know. Yes? No?
No. But April, May.
Like February, March, April. April, May, March. All right. I'm not sure if we should continue this. I'm watching the numbers plummet.
All right.
Going down.
All right. One more each before we lose all the viewers. You go, and then I've got the last one.
Oh my goodness. I had a couple I was going to go with, but there's one I definitely won't. I will tell you, and on a somewhat unrelated note, we were talking about sports. I got my son football, or my kids football. My son was like the instigator, but all three of my youngest ones like catching football. And I was sitting there looking at the football. I'm like, why does it look like it got bigger and bigger? And then it hit me. All right. On that note,
Last one.
go for it.
It's inappropriate to make dad jokes if you're not a dad.
It's inappropriate to make dad jokes if you're not a dad.
It's a faux pas.
All right. We're
Punishment
done.
is over. We're sorry to put you all through that. We just
That was brutal.
Jeff nailed it with face.
You have 15 minutes of airtime to fill, says Kesha. Oh my goodness. This is the best part of the week for me. It really is. Just as we kick off the weekend, it's a lot of fun with you guys. I like making you suffer a little bit as well. But
That is part of the fun, actually. Torturing the crew. Half like it, half don't.
you've got what? You can do any golfing this weekend?
I'm not. I actually, because my family's coming in town, which I think my dad I haven't seen in almost 5 years. The one I told myself on about the truck. He's coming in town. My brother's going to come in town, so we're going to spend some family time together. So
Do they
I
golf?
am doing. My brother does. Yes, we actually have golf planned. I'm taking off work on Friday to play golf with him and a couple friends here locally. That
Make sure you take an extra pair of socks in case you get a hole in one.
The segment continues. Oh, so yeah, no golf this weekend. I'm going to do house chores, get some things touched. We've had some projects ongoing. Well, you know how it goes. You've got the Airbnb. They never end. So we're doing finishing touches. So when they come here and see us and the rest of the family, everything's, nice and tidy and clean. So no golf. I will go for a nice motorcycle ride early in the morning when it's nice and cool and clear the mind, and then come back and then start the chores of running to Lowe's and Home Depot and Ace Hardware and then everything else in between to get it all done. But I actually enjoy a lot of that stuff. So I'm not sad about not golfing this weekend.
So when you go on a ride, on the motorcycle ride, is it just like is that like relaxation time, thinking time, or is it just to get away for a bit, just to decompress from all the pressures of work?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the mood that I'm in, to be honest. So my helmet, I have what's called a Cardo system hooked up to it, so I can either communicate with other riders and or answer my phone or play music in my helmet. So depending on the mood I'm in, if I'm just feeling real spunky and energetic and excited, I'll put on a fun song that I like and go ride and enjoy that. But to be honest, probably about 80% of the time I go ride, I leave it off and I just go ride. And like you said, it's just you forget about work, you forget about anything else, you forget about all that's going on. For one, you're riding, so you have to be very
It's very active.
yeah, it's very active. You're very involved. You have to be very defensive and aware of everything around you. But when I get outside of town, it's a little bit more free and you can enjoy kind of the sights and look around because you're out. It's early morning and you're just cruising, kind of having a good time. So it depends on the mood, but yes, either option, you forget about everything else. I forget about all the customers and projects and everything I do in 2 days and the stresses of that. I don't even remember the chores that I have 3 hours ahead of me waiting for me because I'm doing other things.
It's what you're escaping. That's good. Yeah. Do you ever go look for like 200 miles?
No. So the particular style of bike I have, it's a super sport. It's not made for comfort and travel.
Miles, but you go 200 miles an hour.
So my particular bike can go that fast. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Being a family man, I don't want to put myself in that situation. But no, I will ride for about an hour or so, and typically there's a few different places I'll go stop at and get a soda or a drink and hang out for a couple minutes. And other guys on bikes might stop by, or cars just early morning, and just say, how you doing? And then I'll hop back on and I'll go for another 45 minutes in a big kind of loop and side roads or whatever and get back to the house. But it's a really, really fun way to start the day.
Amazing, relaxing way to start the day. I miss my motorcycle when you describe that. I feel homesick for a motorcycle.
Well,
I still have my endorsement on my license, so I could technically I just go out and buy one, assuming I had the money set aside for a motorcycle, which I do not. So we'll have to wait.
You can buy one without the endorsement. It's
this is already become bold if you start saying that. I will say there was a news story. Speaking of getting away and driving, out of Florida this week, with somebody who just wanted to get away, and apparently it was just some troubles at home, where there was a disagreement of sorts, and these two just said, "Hey, I'm taking the car. We're going." And they took off. The mom actually reported the car stolen, and police caught up to it. Did a felony stop 200 miles away.
So they found the car.
They found the car.
Good.
At a gunpoint, they ordered out the 10-year-old driver and his sister.
Oh no! Oh, no.
200 miles in a stolen car at 10 years old. The guy's kids, apparently, mom took away the electronics, and that was just an untenable situation for him. And he and his sister said, "That's it. We've had enough. We're headed to California." And in the family car, they went. They went. Mom decided not to press charges. And
good for him.
Walking back home, I imagine there's some extra chores and probably no electronics still. Is my guess.
How does a 10-year-old get in a vehicle and make it 200 miles without hitting another vehicle? Although we don't know what curbs or other things they bumped into, but without getting other calls in of, hey, there's a tiny person running into everything in this car going down the interstate.
Without a driver would be what it looks like to anyone else, right? Because the head comes to the window, the side of the window.
Yeah.
Steering wheel.
Kenny says, "What is that, a dad joke?" No, serious story.
This is news. This is out of Florida, of course. Let me see. Let me see if we can find the exact city this was at. Just 1 second here.
Let's see.
I've got it over here.
Oh, they were headed to California.
Yeah, they had plans. They were going the whole way. Siblings ages 10 and 11. 10-year-old driver, 11-year-old sister.
Alacucha County. Probably butchered that. Near Gainesville, Florida. We'll go with Gainesville.
But they made it 200 miles on freeway driving before they got caught. That's 320 kilometers for those of you who can't figure out our messed up system of measurement.
Well done on that conversion.
Said it in the article. I was just
you could have rode with that. The mom reported stolen, her children missing 4 hours in Northport, a city in Southwest Florida. Northport rings a bell from I want to say the Laundry Petito case potentially, but don't want to drag story down. That's crazy. They set out to go on a 3,500-mile trek. I mean, maybe more if they're in Southwest Florida because they got to go a little bit through Florida. But nonetheless, to make it 200 miles without getting caught, that's impressive.
Had they gone a few more miles, they probably would have had to fill up for gas, and that might have been problematic for them at that point. But other than that, they had a plan and they were sticking to it. And they nearly made it.
Alachua. I feel like you on just an everyday weekday morning when you're getting bombarded with pronunciation. Now it's my turn. Alachua. All right, got it.
I'm pretty sure we messed that up too. Is it Alachua? Alachua? I don't know where the emphasis is. I put it on the wrong syllable all the time.
Did you just say the emphasis?
I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
You mean emphasis, right? Can someone please put emphasis in chat?
What font do you use for emphasis? Fun fact, for World War One.
We'll go with Weather Watch. I was a script call for us.
I saw World War One.
Yeah. So
World Watch. You read it.
World War One sounds like Weather Watch.
I know you're not that old, Ivan. No, you're not.
Weather Watch. So his follow-up comment says OMG, but I can't. I don't want to post it because it's all right. I don't know how we get past this. Cachette, we have 7 minutes of airtime. But Ivan was a scratch golfer in high school, grew up on a course, cut greens in high school, made state and senior, but had a pick turn enemy drinking a week before turning and couldn't play. Dad was so sad. That is a bummer. Hey, becoming a scratch player is phenomenal because if you ever Google percentages of golfers and single digit handicappers, it's like 10% of all players in the world ever get there. But let's see. Let's highlight comments that it's just going.
I'm going to go with Hanami.
12, what's the verdict? I like how you said it really fast, so that way you can kind of incorporate an error if it's not in there. Where's what? Futures of this question, we call it 7 minutes isn't worth it.
It's going to be so wrong. Oh, man. Can we
there
start
you go.
Food? Can we can Ivan, I apologize for insinuating that you had a story from your personal history during World War One. That was my bad.
In World War One,
or my mistake, as Judge Stephanie Boyd would say. Let's see, Wanami. Did I say it's a wa instead of ha? It's a Wanami. Why be me? Is this? I can't.
You guys are getting conflicting. Wanami.
Wabi me. Wabi me.
Oh no! I just 80s coming in clutch. Oh no!
Oh, sorry. I'm clicking as you're clicking. I'm looking at the wrong screen. Ivan is much older than I thought. Let's see. I think I have a picture somewhere. We could show. At least I have a time.
Now Adam's messing you up from you finally learned his name in the first 2 months of streaming, and now he's tricking you up.
Yeah, Ivan's on this picture right here. So that's the tie I ordered with his picture on it. But is that showing? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's an homage to World War One.
It's the vintage tie. No.
Nusky. It's no longer pronounced like Husky. Now it's Nusky.
I remember Husky, Adam.
Yeah.
I remember Husky. You can't change that on me. That is not fair. Not
to
fair.
this day, when he's in chat, I read it and I go Adam Nusky like Husky in my head because that's how you trained yourself in like month 2 to get it right.
Husky like Nusky. It's one of the first names I got right.
Yes. And now he's trying to mix it up.
The last as well. But Future says, Scott, I'm going to teach you how to read IPA and then I'll transcribe stuff for you. This does not sound like fun, Future. This does not rank high on my bucket list at all. Did Judge Boyd get her flowers? She gets them on the 2nd. Is that Monday? Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's not focus on the fact that I can't pronounce anything, and let's talk about food instead. You're in Texas, right? You guys have food down there?
We have lots of food. We have, I'll out myself here. We have barbecue, which a lot of people love. I'm not a big barbecue fan
Barbecue
in general.
sauce. Yeah.
And we also have Tex-Mex, which, being born and raised in San Diego, I can't stand Tex-Mex either. So, but there's a lot of food here.
When you say barbecue,
Mhm.
I'm in North Carolina, and I think we're talking about different things.
How do you pronounce it? Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. I have to say.
Okay, that I've been to Texas and I've had barbecue in Texas.
Okay.
And then I came to North Carolina and I ordered barbecue, and it was not barbecue like I had it in Texas or anywhere else for that matter. It's full of vinegar here, and no other sauces, vinegar and pepper. And
Interesting. So here it's all drowned in barbecue sauce. And I know, so a lot of people say barbecue means cookout. Yes, if you say, "Hey, I'm gonna barbecue," like if you use it as an action word, yes, that means I'm gonna grill hot dogs and burgers. But when I say, "Hey, have you had barbecue in Texas?" I think of, brisket and sausage and coleslaw
slathered in sauce.
slathered, and that's what they do here. They slather it in barbecue sauce. And
That's
I'm not in the fight of North Carolina versus Texas versus Kentucky versus that.
We got South Carolina with their mustard as well. So
Yes, see, I know nothing about it because I don't care for it. But it's huge here. It's a religion, if you will, for many.
it's not as big as you think in Texas. I mean, they say everything's bigger, but according to the numbers, and I'm just telling you this, I'm not trying to start a fight here. Just according to the numbers, barbecue sales are down 20% in Texas
Really?
this year.
Because it's no good?
No, it's actually your fault. It's because of the weather.
That's all I'm saying.
It's too hot. And when it's 110 degrees outside, you don't want to go out and get a nice smoking hot stack of ribs. And it's just nobody wants the barbecue because of the heat. The heat.
So that, I believe, Erica, so KC BBQ, that's what I hear the most loud and proud about for sure. I've never had it. I can't say any different, but that's what I hear the most about. But I will not dispute those numbers. I have not looked, but I will tell you this. I love to make burgers and dogs or other foods out on our flat top, on our back patio. I love cooking on our flat top. It's my favorite thing in the world. Steak, whatever it might be. It has been 110 for so many days and humid that I have not taken the cover off that thing since it's been 2.5, 3 months. It's just like, it's miserable. So I believe what you're saying here.
It will probably bounce back, but I think also, and you could probably vouch for this, Texas has seen a huge increase in joints that sell barbecue
Meat sales. Proteins are through the roof right now.
And
It is
you combine
insane.
that with the cost of supply, the cost of good quality meat, which is an important part of a barbecue.
Yes.
It's up as well. It's just the worst case scenario, the perfect storm for low barbecue sales, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's 100%. That's accurate. We eat steaks more often or less often now than we have been, simply because the price has gone up so much. We're cutting back on certain meats because the price is insane. I saw a quick comment here that I agree with, but I think I lost it.
I saw Barbara's about this Blackstone griddle. I've got two friends, the Blackstone griddle, and they swear by them. And now I swear I want one. It looks like so easy. It looks so great. The food, I mean, it's just convenient.
Yes. Breakfast on the Blackstone is great, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to updo you one. That was the first one I had, and that's what made me fall in love with flat tops and griddles. I then, I want to say Christmas, maybe, the in-laws got me what's called a Cuisinart 360. So it's a flat top, but the Blackstone is a big rectangle. It's a big giant circle. You can cook all the way around it.
This is like one of those Korean grill things when you go like Korean barbecue where they walk around and they flip it with a stick. It's a big, huge, long, flat top. Are we talking about the same thing?
Similar, but it's a big circle.
Yeah, they have a circle and they like walk around as they're cooking your food and they push it around.
Mm-hmm. And the outer and inner and center rings, you can control the burners for different temperatures. And I have since fallen in love with that way more than my original Blackstone, which I didn't think could ever be a possibility.
Wow.
And my friend in Colorado built an outdoor kitchen. He put one in, and my neighbor's getting one. They are amazing. They make a regular Cuisinart 360 or a Cuisinart 360 XL, which just obviously means it's bigger.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. I love the thing.
So here I am. I still have not got the air fryer. And so this is how far behind in cooking inventions. I just barely got the Instapot, right? And so I'm in the fact that I can cook hard-boiled eggs and they peel with like one stroke and they're perfect.
Yeah.
So first I have to get the air fryer, then I can get the Blackstone, and then this thing you ordered, the circle grill. You'll have to Cuisinart.
Yeah, sure. Quiz in art.
Isn't it like cuisine? Text it to me. Text it to me.
I'll send you a link.
However I write this down, it's not gonna work. Man.
Oh Lord, quiz. Well, the beauty about Google is you can just type in something close and it'll just take you right to it. Oh.
Google knows what you meant,
Mm-hmm.
which is scary because especially when we're looking at court cases and they're like, what did people search for?
Yes.
And there's like two answers. So like, here's what they typed in. We've got for this. Let me play this one really quickly.
Oh, here you go. Yes.
So you've got
This is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How does the FBI find people, and people's misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E? Would the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
Yeah. So Google knows what you're asking
People.
when you screw up the request.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think from now on, when police do subpoenas from Google, they can say, I want to know two things. I want to know what they actually said and what the results they were clicking on, which is separate. What Google's like, oh, we've corrected your request into what you meant.
Right. Mrs. R. Oh,
sorry, I just clicked.
It's okay. She knows what she asked.
Where was it?
Oh, there it is. Got it. Picturing little round circular stovetop. What could go wrong? So yes, you have to be careful, but there is a big grease guard and drip catch that circles all the way around it as well. That serves as a little bit of a guard. So, I mean, yes, you can easily get to it, but there's a little bit of a guard that's still warm, but it catches everything falling off. Or you just littles can't be there. But massive pancakes. Yes,
I'm a fan of this.
Uh-huh.
I am a fan of this 6-volt bus. I'm a fan of making as big a pancake as you can possibly make and still flip it successfully. That's the limit of how big a pancake should be. It should not be ruled on the size of your plate or anything else. It's how big can you make the pancake and flip it without it tearing or folding over itself. And that's the optimum size for a pancake.
Okay, Mrs. RA, yes, of course they could. We'll take this off air when the show's over. But it's Ivan with another super chat. He says best barbecue World War IV I've heard was in Westport, Kansas City, Mexico. Mafia had a great spot that took us to, which shows me it existed in 2003. It did.
Instagram that for sure.
AOL Instant Messenger existed back then, back in World War II.
On my pager, send me a text where it is. You guys ever have a pager? Did you ever? Is that I'm dating myself. I had a pager, I think, for a month. Okay, and then I realized that you had to pay for the fee, like the $15 every single month. It wasn't like a one time and then it just worked forever. I'm like, well, this is crap. I'm not going to pay $15 so that somebody can text me their number so I can go find a payphone and call them back. Anyway,
so I've got an admission here. In 8th grade, I thought pagers were cool, but that's when I think the little brick phone came out. So my dad's pager expired and he had a brick phone. So I took my dad's pager that's no service, doesn't work, and I clipped it on my pocket and I took it with me to 8th grade to tell everyone I had a pager. And then when people would say, prove it, I had to think of what lies I could of why it didn't work.
what's the number? Prove it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how sad I was. I had a
buzz. I was like, well, I flipped the switch.
Yeah, the little orange light would come on it because that's what showed that it was on, but that would be it. It wouldn't work. I was so desperate for attention. That's sad.
Ivan says, are you kidding? I had 2 pagers, one for fam and one for on other notes.
Yeah, we've got pagers and burner phones in the mix if we combine the show. Debbie a minute ago said one more dad joke before we go.
Oh my goodness. Ham sandwich walks into a bar, orders a beer. Bartender says, sorry, we don't serve food here.
Oh no, I love that one. There's no way I can beat it.
Maybe that's for you in honor of the food talk we've had tonight.
Oh no, I don't. I got to keep it with food, but now I'm losing. No, I get because. No, I mean I could tell you a joke about pizza, but it'd be too cheesy. We got to stop it somewhere somehow because we're just.
Oops, sorry.
I like that one too to really get into the weekend.
I don't know if that song's like it's one we can use. If we get another copyright strike, Megan Trainor already hit me once today, so we can't do another one. This one's safe. We won't get into trouble here. What month is the shortest? Says 80s Music Man. February. I know this one. February, 28 days, sometimes 29.
You can't be logical though. That's where they trick you. He's got it. Come on, 80s. It's May. Only has 3 letters. There it is. Got him. Oh.
All right, man. Crazy. I hope all of you have a fantastic weekend. Whatever your plans are, whether it's with family, whether it's with friends, whether it's just a weekend alone, just getting a little R&R, catching up on whatever your podcast, because, with Galactic Podcast Day today, I'm sure there's a lot of podcasts out there you can listen to, some even some good ones. Or there's this one. So you can
or you can settle.
We're just saying we don't have a preference at all, but this would be the preferred one for us. So
I hope everyone has a great weekend.
I
need to go crush that. Well, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and don't forget to go change into a fresh pair of Thunderwear, because that's what clouds wear.
I'm just going to fade to black. Where's the fade to black button? I can just disappear like this. Oh my goodness. It's been a wonderful week. It's been wonderful to spend it all with all of you. I'm sorry that this is how we kicked off your weekend, but hopefully your weekend just gets better from here on out. Thomas, as always, thank you so much. An amazing friend, an amazing person, just an amazing individual all around. Thank you so much for all you do, that both on the podcast as well as in the live stream. It not just wouldn't be the same without you, it wouldn't be without you. Let me just tell you, it wouldn't be without you. So thank you so much. And all of you, welcome. Have a great weekend. Have just a fantastic time. Send pictures to the burner phone of all the fun things you're doing and that I should try doing.
Do it. Awesome. Thanks, Scott. Enjoy all the times, every minute we get to spend together, everything we get to work on. And again, I echo your sentiment. Everyone, thank you for choosing to be here on your Friday night when you could be a million other more fun places. We appreciate each and all of you.
1,000,001 at least. We've counted, trust me. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.